First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for everybody coming out here today. We're going to be doing a really cool class, lighting an interview using aperture gear. I want to just say a couple thank yous. I want to say a really big thank you to the team at Matria here for helping us all put this together. I'm going to introduce you shortly to our instructor, but thank you to Jessica and Lulu here that are going to assist us on the teaching of this beautiful class. Yeah, round of applause. A huge, huge thank you to Jackie at Babe Studios here. If you guys need a studio, anything here, you want to do a shoot of any kind, please hit Jackie up. They'll always hook you up. And a huge thank you to Aperture for sponsoring this event, providing us all these lights here that you're all going to do. Big round of applause. Big round of applause. And yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. Stay tuned, and I'm going to hand over to Jessica over here, who's going to take over the class. So, thank you guys so much.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. As he said, my name is Jessica. I'm going to try to keep it as clear as I can, but if I am ever confusing or all over the place, please, please, please ask me questions, interrupt me if you don't understand what I mean by something. Also, English is not my first language, so if I make pronunciation mistakes, please excuse that as well. Lulu is going to be helping me with all the gear and, well, with the lighting. And we wanna do this as straightforward as possible. We're gonna focus on lighting a face. As you can see, we don't have anything behind us, a white wall. But if you guys have been on set, very often when you're lighting an interview, you're just walking into a less than ideal place. You're in a hotel room, or you're in like some random house with someone who has like boring white walls, and sometimes you just have to deal with that. So we're gonna focus on lighting a face properly and beautifully. Also, we're gonna try to do a little bit more dramatic, not so beauty lighting stuff. And then try to do something pretty with the white wall that we have behind us, probably just like a splasher of light or whatever. Any questions so far? Anything? Any expectations? Also, I would love to know if anybody is just like hoping for something specific to see if we can accomplish that. Like, yes?
I was expecting like sort of like touching upon like ratios.
Oh, totally. Yes. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Anything else? You can also say it as we go if, anything comes up. We'll start by demonstrating 3 types of lighting that you usually, or like units that you can have, since we have aperture units. We're gonna light the subject, first with like a hard light. But as you can see, it's just like the bare LED panel is just gonna blast directly into whatever you put in front of it, right? We also have a panel that is basically, instead of being like a bunch of nodes concentrated on like a really small lens trying to focus all the light together, this one has under this, you can see it. It's a panel that has a bunch of nodes spread out, and it has a diffusion like plate in front of it to send the light in a broader angle and making it softer. And also, these are going to be our 3 main lights, right, that we're going to be using today. We have this other aperture, which is just like that one here, but it has the spotlight attachment, which makes it function kind of like a Lico. So it's still a hard light, but we have a lot more control on the beam. Any questions so far? I don't know how familiar you guys are with the 1200s, with the apertures. mostly good. If anybody wants to come up here and like look at them, I think we're gonna fire them up, all 3 of them right now. And as soon as they're up, we're gonna kill the house lights and then we'll move on from there, all right? Mm-hmm. Oh, and we also have, sorry, I forgot. We also have this other 1200 that has a big umbrella attachment on it and allows us to turn it into a soft light too, because of course it has, after some distance, it has a diffusion and it has, it has a control grid here, which keeps the light soft, but not so spread out. We're gonna, once we turn them on, we're gonna take turns with you guys coming up here and seeing how each unit works if you haven't before, right? Let me know when we are powered. Sweet. All right. Can we kill the house lights, please?
House lights, come down.
Sweet. All right. So, as I was saying, a lot of control on this one. You have a lens on this in front that you can focus. You guys can see, right? If anybody wants to come up, if it's not, if you can't see from where you are, you can change how defined the edges of the light are. It's very much a spotlight. You can shape it, Come on, you can come and touch it and stuff. Please don't be shy at all. It's you're more than welcome. The whole point is that you learn. So you have these blades inside here, right? Or cutters. It's kind of inverted, so when you use the one on this side, you're gonna cut the light. You're gonna cut the light on that side. So you see, I go in, it cuts it right there. When I do the one at the bottom, I'm gonna cut the top, right? And when I do the one on top, I'm gonna cut the bottom. And I can turn it into a triangle, a square, and I can change how focused it is, right? Sorry. That's basically it with this one. You can also add, I don't know if we have those, but in here, right, you put in here, you can slide some, go ahead. Feel free to touch it, you guys. Feel free to go for it. Play with the blades if you want. Oh, it's heavy. Yeah, I would just never, yeah. Como quieras, porque es que siento que esto es más pesado que esto y nunca me sé cómo. But anyway, whatever. Right? So anyway, it's very rare that you would use something like this as a key light for an interview, because you usually don't use a spotlight for an interview. But I've definitely had things where that's all you have. Maybe not this, but you have a Lico because that's the thing that you have, right? So you try to cut it in a nice way, diffuse it. You can put also a frame of opal in front of it, or whatever. Get creative. Opal. Oh, opal is a type of diffusion gel. It's just something that came to my mind. Sorry. We have one over there. We'll get to it. So yeah, let's do the panel now. Any questions about spotlights? No? Okay. Now. ¿Este? Ah, no sé, no lo he prendido. This one. Yep. I'm gonna need This panel is far more like, obviously, sky panels, vortex, even comparable, I think, to like a light mat. It's just you have a bunch of nodes on a little flat thing, and you have diffusion in front of it. It's considerably easier to create like really pretty, soft, beauty light with this. And then now you can have them in colors, and they have effects, and all these wonderful things. Before we start looking at this one? Damn, okay.
Comparable to the sky panel and like, what else?
Vortex?
Vortex.
Yeah, vortex height, well, the new sky panel too. And even I was thinking in terms of quality of light, kind of like a light mat.
Okay, it's like RGB.
Yeah, no, and just in terms of it being soft and spread out,
Okay.
you know, it's not like the spotlight, which would be kind of like a Lico or like, what do you call the mole? The 2K mole Richardson, Molipso?
Yeah.
It's like, this is kind of like a Molipso, right? Except the Molipso is just tungsten and huge, right? And this is, it can be tungsten, it can be daylight, because it's LED. And it's also not as hot as the Molipso. Where do you turn this thing on? Here. Acá está. There we go. Oh, sorry. Sorry, fuck. Oh my God. I am so sorry. Rookie mistake. You guys, when you turn on a light, say striking, please. So sorry. What does it do as I say, not as I do? Fuck. Anyway. Yes.
On the back, there's like a yellow plug and then a red plug. What does that mean?
Yes. That is DC power. Oh, this is probably a jumper.
A jumper?
Yeah, so it's probably so that you can, if you have, for example, 3 of these on a grid up there, you don't want to run 4 of these cables, or sorry, 3, if you have 3 units. So you can get short ones like this, or like to go, and you only have like 1 line of power powering them, and you don't have a bunch of these, because for rigging and for breaking down, it's a pain in the ass.
It's like
Yeah.
a daisy chain. Just
Yeah, exactly.
simpler, less busy with that.
Yep. Anyway, this is it without the, can we turn this off? Sorry. As you can see, it's a completely different quality of light, even if, you know, besides, aside from the color, here I am now matching the color that that one had. But as you can see, immediately, you don't need to be an expert or anything to see how insanely different it is, right? So you can then add this additional, it's so short. Oh, thank you. This additional layer of diffusion. And even you see how it's going everywhere, right? If you add this control grid, thank you, Lulu. Ooh. You can see that we still have the same soft quality of light, but now it's even though it's like a very short length that the grid is, it's controlling the spread, right? So yes.
Does it lose power to like diffuser and diffuser?
It does. You do lose intensity, absolutely, and it depends. Huh? I think it's. I'm pretty sure it's like minimal with this. You just change the angle. So definitely, you're getting less. You're probably not getting less intensity here, where the center is, where it's focused. but you are losing it on the side. So overall you are, but in the where it's focused, you're not really losing that much. Yeah. It's also, you're also not gaining any, because with Fresnel lights, which we don't really, well, there's a Fresnel adapter for LEDs, but the old-timey Fresnel tungsten units, you could gain intensity by moving the bulb back and forth within the unit. So you would change the spread, but also the intensity. Not with this, though, yeah. Any questions about the panel? Yes.
Do grids come in any variations at all? Or?
Yes. Great question. Sorry, I got very excited. So that's a great question. There's like angles, right? So you can usually you get 40 degree, 50 degree, 60 degree. You can get different ones, and it's just basically adjusting the spread, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to ask, like, what was Fresnel?
Oh, Fresnel is a light that was kind of like a little, let's say a little tube, and you had a bulb, a reflector in the back, like a little mirror type of plate, and lens in the front that had, it's just like a normal glass thing. Sometimes it has a little bit of texture, and it has like little rings, right? So it changes as you move the bulb back and forth. It changes the amount of light that's going out, but also that's reflecting from the little mirror thingy back here. And so you would see the light, you can spot it and flood it. So when you spot it, it's like making it narrow, making the angle narrow. And when you flood it, you're flooding the light, right? And so basically you had this knob in the back that goes back and forth. And the rings in the front of the glass help with that, as well as the distance. Yeah. Also many Fresnels, you could change the, not many, some of them, you could change the lens in the front. Yeah. And the other option that you had back when we had those units more was PAR, which is a more, like, it's not so much of a tubular light. It could still flood and focus, flood and spot, but it was shorter distance. And you could change the lenses in the front. They would have like wide, super wide, medium, Fresnel, what was this, the cloudy one? It's not cloudy. Frost, thank you, yes. So yeah, you could, and so in those cases, you could change the quality of the light by changing the lens in front of it. Yeah, of course. Any other questions? Okay. Yes.
What type of I guess strength of diffusion comes with the panel lights?
Say that again. What kind of?
Like type of strength of diffusion, I guess are there much thicker ones other than are there lighter diffusions, thicker diffusions that come with panel lights specifically?
This one I think only comes with this light grid. Right? I think this, the Nova, only comes with this. I don't know if you can see it. Right? It's like a light grid. I don't think it had another. Let me see real quick. But usually most, when you add a softbox to a unit, like whether it's a panel or a unit like this, you usually get maybe 2 diffusions, right? With light mats, you get 3 diffusions. You get full, half,
and quarter.
yes. And then like the half and the quarter are grids, and then the full is just flat, like soft. Yeah. But like, for example, I have friends who have made their own. Hmm? Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to me. I was like, what? Yeah, who have made their own diffusions to carry with them that are like either 5-foot diameter of like bleached muslin, unbleached muslin, or like 4 by whatever, so different light mats, and they literally just carry it with them to Yeah, just like change it.
Is that more for like creative choice?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it does look kind of cool when you do. So it's like, I'm a sucker for warm light, and so unbleached muslin on a light mat, like, it looks great.
Is that something that like inexpensive to make?
Very easy. Someone who can sew. That will put Velcro on the edges. Like, you just gotta cut the right size. So the Velcro on the edges, and then you can just have it with you.
I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstood.
Not at
I
all.
just want to clarify, because you said when you put the Fresnel on there, it doesn't intensify the light.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think it does if you put the Fresnel on the light itself.
On which one?
The 1200,
Oh, the Fresnel adapter.
it increases.
Yeah, the attachment. It like focuses it for sure. It increases it on the center. I believe, like, it concentrates it, I think might be the,
No, because
or how you mean?
you said that it doesn't do it for the LED. Oh, like I said, maybe
Oh.
I misheard.
Totally, I didn't explain myself correctly. What I meant to say that it doesn't do is move the LED node, like because in the Fresnel unit, what is moving is the bulb.
Yeah.
And in the Fresnel adapter, what is moving is the lens.
But it does increase the power of the
It
light.
does concentrate the intensity in one spot or send it away. So basically, yes, thank you for that, because it's important to clarify that. It absolutely does the same thing, because in terms of physics, the same thing is happening, except in the old Fresnel tungsten units, the bulb, which would be the same as the LED node here, is going back and forth from a knob here. And in the 1200, or like the Novas or whatever, not Novas,
The LEDs.
the Nanox, yes, the LEDs, you put the adapter here, and what you do is you have the lens moving back and forth. That's it. But thank you.
Do you
Yeah.
usually twist the barrel so the glass is just like coming?
You twist the barrel here, and it, like, you physically see it extend and collapse. And with the tungsten, you would have a little knob here that would just, but you would see there was like a guiding thing going back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. Clear so far? Questions? No? All right. We're going to go with this one now. Oh, it's already. All right.
Oh, you have a question?
Can we just see the temperature range on the?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you rush. Never rush on set. You know, kill this. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
These, I think, go. This, by the way, is like at 15%, 16. They go from like 2,500, super warm, to like 10,000 or something. Yeah, 10,000. Super cold. But you can. There's a big. So if we leave it at like 5,000 right now, you also have green, plus minus green correction. Because sometimes, LED lights especially, sometimes HMIs do that too. They'll go a little bit green or magenta. And that's why you have plus and minus green gels. But with these, you can do it by hand, by doing minus green or plus green, which I would recommend against using this to make the light green or make it pink, right? You do whatever you want, but use this just for correction, I would advise. Right, and this is right now, not at its full intensity. It's only at 16. I'm gonna go all the way up. So you see how bright it is. And you're not even drawing 20 amps. So these are very practical lights for when you're doing interviews for a little documentary and you don't have, a big budget. Any other questions?
These aren't RGB, right? Or they are?
These 1200s are not, but we do have 600s and 300s that are RGB. This is just, by color. Well, not, but you have plus minus green and you have color temperature, yeah. And then we're gonna do,
Just another note, I don't know if you touched on this, but the green and magenta is usually used to compensate for when the unit ages over time.
yeah,
It's especially light mats have a really
yes.
significant tendency of leaning green, right? They get green
Both.
over time, or
Sometimes they do it,
depends.
sometimes they do it half of the panel will be
Yeah,
magenta and the other half will be green, yeah. Yeah,
compensate with that.
And then also if you're using different types of lights?
yes, yes, yes. Even sometimes you have two units that are same brand, same model, same generation. And just because they've had different hours, of operating, the color is going to be, the hue, I guess, is going to be off. So, yeah, it's good to keep an eye out for that. Yes.
Yeah, so as the units age, is there a reason why they would lean to green or magenta?
I'm sure there is, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, okay.
It's like the pixels of the LED.
Yeah.
They're going through wear and tear, and the exhaust of them being fired. I guess I don't know the exact science.
Yeah, that's it. It's they get worn out,
Yeah.
but I don't know what it is exactly. It's just they're old. Yeah. So I don't, yeah.
They've lived their life.
Yeah, exactly. All right. This one's not powered. All right, striking. Look away. Sorry. Not gonna make that mistake again. All right. Now, obviously we have the bare LED through the glass just blasting, right? And then that, even though it's the same unit, because it has diffusion, because it has the light grid and all of that, you're drawing the same power, but you get less intensity once it hits a subject or the floor or whatever, and you get different quality, again, because of the diffusion and the light grid. Any questions? All good? Yes.
How come that soapbox is so huge?
Because I picked a 5-foot diameter. You can also get it in 3-foot. We have it over here on the 600. It's a 3-foot, right? Diameter. It's just easier to light an interview pretty with a big, the bigger the unit, the softer. He knows. The bigger, the softer that you can make the light, right? As long as the light is hitting the entire diffusion.
When you say unit, you mean
Yes, the 1200, the thing that's emitting the light. Yeah.
What's the diameter of that one?
5 foot. 5
5 foot,
feet.
okay. So it's a little bit bigger than, or a little bit bigger than a 4x frame then?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. And so this, for example, I would probably, once I have it here, I wouldn't diffuse it because that's why I chose an umbrella. And that's why I am putting lighting control on it. So I don't have to have 5 grips running around with flags and things and cutting it. Now, I will probably cut this, right? Because if I blast it here, and you will see, we'll do this once we have a subject, I'm gonna blast it, and then if it's hitting the wall too much, I'm gonna start shaping it, but at that point it's just gonna be with like solid flags and not like additional, like for example, again, you do whatever you want, but I would not put a diffusion in front of the lighting grid. There's nothing really wrong with it, but it defeats the purpose of the grid, because if you put another diffusion in front of it, you're gonna start, once again, spreading it everywhere. So might as well just lose the grid here, and you can get grids for 4x4 frames, for 6x6, 8x, you can get, you know, control grids in any size, so, yeah. All right, we good? We clear? We should probably start lighting a person? Dianita. So, we have our voluntold over here. This is Diana, everybody. She agreed to come do this with us today. Now, are we gonna use this camera as like the camera that we're lighting for, or do we? The one? Because this is the one that's showing.
Yes. To answer your question.
Sweet. All right. And if we had, sorry. If we had an interviewer, would they be on this side?
You want to be on this side?
I don't know. Or this side. No. I'm just asking, like the person. Because when you're interviewing someone, you have them on one side or the other of the camera, and very rarely, but it does happen, you will have, what do they call, something where there's like a mirror. Oh, there, like, no. Like, yes. I direct, that's something, yeah. So there's like a mirror and the person is looking straight into camera, but they're looking at the interviewer, who is like sitting to one side and they're looking into a mirror and shit, but they're like looking at each other, but there's a bunch of mirrors. You don't like, well, I think it's very important to consider where the interviewer is or where the interviewee is looking at. I think it would be obvious because we should care about all of those things, but also because it's going to make it far more interesting if you throw the main light on, not on the side that the person is looking at, but on the other one. Does that make sense? And if not, we're about to see why. So, we're about to light Diana. I'm gonna need hands. Sorry. Sorry. If any of you wants to like look at all the other lights, let me know. Like, are any of you curious about that? I don't know if that's something. Yeah. Or like even these, like if you want to just like play with them. Huh? Come on, get up then. Let's go. Come on. Yeah. So, well, Because if you're here, I feel like you're also going to be able to, these, at least the ones that we have on already. Yeah, like if you want to look at the, you know. Come in. So this is, you're also, there we go. Sorry, close tracking, maybe. So there you go.
Sorry about that. Should have said straight.
There we go. That's never happened to me, so I don't know.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. Is this monitor calibrated?
Yeah, the color's a little off.
What are you going to talk about today? What are we going to... What is this? Oh, that's that. That's that. This is this. So, all right, we have different light units, different quality of light hitting all over. It's just blasted right now. Like I was saying before, I'm a sucker for warm light. I prefer it. So I'm gonna start with a little bit. What's our color temperature on these cameras?
What color?
56. Huh. So also, obviously, you cannot just do whatever you want because you depend on whatever the creative vision of the director is, whatever the producer will allow, and what the DP wants you to do. So right now we have 5600 white balance. So I would maybe do like a 5000 to not go too crazy, but like add a tiny bit of warmth. So I'm gonna choose this unit to go to do the first lighting of the interview for now, because I like this accessory. What's that?
I was to say, like, with your thought process, what do you usually go with first in terms of lighting? Just like you just said,
If like.
or it depends on the situation.
Yeah, it depends so much on the situation. And it's like, I think actually the biggest challenge on this one was like, oh, just light an interview. And I am so used to having so many people tell me what they want and what they need that when I was given like full freedom, and I'm always like, oh, I wish I could, you know? And then I was given just like, do whatever. And I was like, fuck, you know? Because like, I need some, you know, guidance. But that was cool too, because I was like, well, what do I care about when I'm lighting someone, right? Like, when I don't have to worry about making it look like something they shot in LA. When I don't have to worry about, you know, having them look straight into camera and like all these things. I'm like, well, I like soft light, I like warm light, I like, you know, just like cozy, controlled, little bit of contrast, but nothing crazy, you know. So we're gonna start with that, and then we'll go with other different things. What's up?
Do you usually like want all the lights off when you're focusing on one specific
Absolutely. Well,
or like turn like
at least for my key, yeah. So when I'm setting up the key, I usually turn on the key and then have everything else off, and then build from there.
so you don't when you're doing the fill or like the
Mhm.
backlight, like you don't mind if it's the keys on, you just want it to adjust to the
Not
key.
at all. I know that there's a lot of people, so I'm gonna save these now. Yes, please, thank you. I know that there's a lot of people who will, for example, kill everything to work on the backlight. It's totally fine. Like, it's a preference, I think. I just like building from the key. Yeah. All right. So, camera's here. And Diana would be looking here. So if you don't mind rotating your body a tiny bit here, there we go. Thank you. It's all right, as you can see, it's pretty, it's not like frontal, but it's like, you know, a side light. She's looking to that side. When she's looking, can you look, sorry, here? We have a little bit of contrast here, a tiny bit. We're wide enough that we probably can't have a bounce. But Lulu, I don't know if we can, well, that would be later. Like
Do you
just
want them to tighten up to her face so we can work on her face particularly, or no?
maybe a medium, if you could give me a medium.
Let's go to medium.
There we go, I love that.
You love that?
Yes, that's great.
Also, you guys can scoot in. I feel
Yeah.
like you guys are missing the monitor. We're looking at the monitor.
They're like,
you guys
no.
can take a look.
Um,
Come scoot in. I'm sure you all don't bite each other, so come on.
we don't know.
That's true.
No, I'm kidding. All right. This, I'm sorry. Breathing down your neck. It's just this feels green, but it doesn't feel green there. Probably wrong. Oh yeah, I have my meter there too. Because I'm short. I'm gonna go a bit higher with this. And ooh, do we have a ladder? Sorry. Also, when you're lighting an interview, usually your subject is not there the whole time, but then when your subject is there, you're gonna have to get really close to them a bunch. And I think something very important about making sure that your career goes far in the industry is acknowledging the person, being very respectful with them, and being very aware that they are a human being and not just like a prop. So always approach them, announce what you're gonna do, just be careful. Deanna here is my friend, so I feel very comfortable getting very close to her, and I was about to do that, but
No, mine 100. They want to stay on this.
Yeah, you want to have like, what is it, bedside manner almost of like within the subject you're lighting. I don't know if you like nurses or will be like, hey, do you want to like, check your heartbeat or whatever. Just kind of the similar.
What?
dose.
you gonna smoke? It's not turning on. I literally tested it yesterday.
You know? Make sure they're still growing.
Well, I saw someone else, it's not turning on. I tested it yesterday, I promise. Yeah, 100%, but yesterday it was working. Pissing me off. Okay.
When you're going for like a very warm look like this,
Yes.
what's your philosophy in terms of getting color balance on the lights versus getting it on camera?
You should always go off the camera, I think. Even though, obviously, I still haven't corrected it, by the way. Even though I obviously prefer warmer, and you see what you see. In the end, what you're gonna have is what the camera is capturing, right? So you do have to, like, that kind of takes precedence, I would say. Obviously, they're gonna do color grading, they're gonna change a lot of things, but yeah, you should probably prioritize what the camera is doing, yeah.
Like, you focus on, like, let's say the monitor?
I usually do both, because the monitor, like for example, I am feeling like this monitor is a tiny bit green, which is not a problem if I'm looking at intensity, at framing, at like whether there's stands in or any of that. So I use this because it's bigger and it's nicer and easier to look at a bunch of things. But the contrast might be off. If there's 4 monitors on set, I'm probably gonna use one main one to look at most things, and then I'm gonna go peek behind the focus puller, and then I'm gonna go peek at the camera one, and I'm gonna peek, just because sometimes you can catch certain things in different monitors, which, sometimes it might, like if you go look at the focus puller monitor, it might be black and white. It might be like the brightness is all pumped up or like whatever. There's a bunch of things. So don't, get alarmed by that shit. But sometimes because the brightness is all up and the whatever is tweaked so that they can do better focus pulling. And if it's a background that's very rich or whatever, there's more things, it might bring something like up that you don't really notice in other monitors that maybe needs your attention or some work, some correction, whatever. Yeah, right?
I
You would
think
agree?
to build also off the answer to the previous question, like, when you're lighting for like film and not theater, so you should literally never go off your eye. You're lighting for a sensor, one of those things.
That's beautiful. Yeah, hell yeah.
Because I used to do theater, and like, there's a time and place for that in some things, but it's like, when you're lighting for a sensor, you have to keep in mind your white balance, you have to keep in mind your brightness, range, your eyes, all this stuff. And yeah, monitor just like if you're focusing on film, like I really have this school of thought like you cannot really rely on that. Like it's there to help you, but that's not like the main source. Like I think, and that's why I love like the old school kind of workflow, like learning about ratios, which we'll get into later, getting familiar with your
Light
meter, forget the name. But yeah, your meter, stuff like that. Just so like you have all these tools and you're kind of checking all your bases. So by the time like you're, telling your DP like, I've done my job and walk away, like you feel good.
Oh yeah, totally. Like you are lighting for film and not for theater, but at the same time, you should be able to know what you're doing without a monitor to an extent, right? But now that we have these tools that allow, because it's kind of like we're halfway like into the lab, Because before, like you were fucking blind and everybody had to trust the DP. And then when the rushes came back, that's where you found the problems. But now, like these are kind of like the rushes. So you have to start finding problems here. But you should be able to light something without this, kind of. Also, the battery on my light meter died. I am so embarrassed, but I know some of you, I saw one before. Perfect, thank you so much. I swear I checked it yesterday. There we go. So, what are we, 800?
We are 3200.
ISO?
Oh no, ISO.
Oh, yeah, 3,200. Goddamn. That's the other thing. Like, it's so great to have access to lights like this and like cameras like these, and cameras that have such high sensitivity, because you can achieve so much more with so much less now that, it makes it available to a lot of people now. And that's kind of, it's beautiful.
It's also nice to like observe, like when you're using one to shoot something, like what is already happening with like highlights and shadows, and where like continuing like the paint that's like already kind of happening right now. No, little. She's got a little like. So, are you all familiar with Rembrandt? It's an incredible Dutch painter who like innovated portraiture. But the idea is like the triangle right here that's happening on your cheek. Is like keystone of his like portraiture. But yeah. Thank you.
So we have a crazy ratio contrast right now. Well, not crazy. A little bit. So, you see, I would probably try to, right now, fill this a little bit. There's 1,000 different ways that you can fill the other side. You could do it with another unit. You could do it with a bounce. I find that it's most of the time far more organic if you do it with a bounce, because that's kind of like what usually happens naturally. So we're gonna set up a bounce right now, and we'll keep working from there. Also, who asked about the ratios? I can't remember. You. Basically, it's how many stops do you have in difference from the bright side and the dark side, right? So when people say like, oh, a 2 to 1, right? It means, to give you examples of numbers, is like, this is an 8 stop, the bright side, right? Like, sorry, Deanna's bright side would be an 8, and then 2 stops down would be 5, 6, 4. So the dark side would be 4. Right now we have like a fucking 6 stop ratio, but we're gonna work towards evening it out. You can also measure light and like the contrast in reflective or spotted measuring. So it's either incident and reflective, sorry. So you're either measuring the amount of light that's coming, or the amount of light, or you're looking at the skin and measuring the amount of light that's bouncing out. Skin tones obviously have a lot to do with that. The lighter the skin tone, the hardest it usually is to create like a ratio, because they're like the skin is just like a big bounce. And so, yeah, the darker the skin tone, it's gonna be easier to create a ratio, because there's more depth, so to speak. Let's set up a 4x4.
Awesome. Just to demonstrate different bounces, this drawing pad right here
Oh,
is
pizza box
Silver Surfer.
and a Silver Surfer.
This is our
Also, sorry, when I was talking about having to get very close to your subject, you have to make sure that the light is focused on them. There's no easy way for me to verbalize with that, like how you do that, other than you have to like look at the light, you know, and make sure that it's hitting the person. So the easiest for me usually is to get like where they are and like get right behind them and look at the light. And like here I can see the LCD makes it very easy, because there's like, if you look at it from an angle, you see the sides of this, right? And when you find, like when you're looking at it, where you find exactly where like the intersections of the like little crosses, when they are like seamless, like just straight, that's where the light is focused. So if I get, also I focused it kind of by eye, because I kind of can focus by looking at a light when I'm behind it by now. So yeah, if you get here, like right where her face is, and I look at the light, I can see that the light is hitting her directly. I don't recommend doing that when you're lighting, for example, with this. What's up?
Hey, quick question. For your key, when you're measuring, you're taking a meter reading, are you simply trying to match your key to whatever aperture stop is on the camera?
Not necessarily. Sometimes, yes, like overall, if you point this little ball to like her face, would be like right the center, like the most important thing. And then you stand behind them, you clear all of the lights, and then you point it directly at the lens of the camera. So you do this, and you're getting an average of all the light that's falling on her face, so that's like a good starting point. But maybe you want the bright side to be a little bit blown out. Or maybe you want the bright side to be, like if her bright side is at a 5.6, you want to set this at a 5.6 and then have the rest be very dark, right? Be underexposed. But usually the DP will tell you that. Yes?
I have a question.
Yes.
So this is
like, if you look at, like, say, like, the key side of her face, like, if I wanted to avoid some of those specular highlights and have it be more of a rich color, do you have any recommendations for achieving that?
Yes, very often something that's helpful is using either black silk. I don't know if you've ever used black silk for diffusion. Incredible.
I'm not familiar, no.
Yeah, it's very rare, but it's really nice with like dark skin, with like in general, it's just good because it diffuses the light, but it's not giving you that like mirror bouncy thing that a white silk or a white diffusion will give you. A black silk diffuses the light very, very nicely. But also, another thing that you can do is just throw a net.
That was my other thought. I was like a half net, like with the
Yeah. 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 Like, you can do this. Like, another thing is, like, we made Deanna change into a black t-shirt because it's easier to light. But you will have sometimes people who show up with a white t-shirt. And she has a white t-shirt over there that she will later change into, so we can look at that again. I mean, as well. Because then that's when the shaping of the light comes in. Or yeah, it's part of that, like changing the quality of the light. And yeah, we can do this like somewhere. Sorry, I can't.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah.
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 Another, like, I guess note is whenever you're putting like nets, always keeping your open side, like the closed side, kind of away from the
top.
yeah, sorry.
It's hard to explain.
It's because of the shadows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want like a harsh, like, this is like, you can't really see
Like
it too
a
much,
flat-
but this gets really harsh. It's the cut becomes harsh.
Another thing that will affect, again, quality, is the distance between the source and the subject. Like the closer shaper or cutter or something that you're using to shape the light is to the source, let me demonstrate. Like the softer the cut would be, and the closer it is to the subject, the harder it will be. So if I cut this here, like you can, sorry, yes, I realized as I was doing it, sorry. So you know, if I'm trying to cut her shirt, right? And it's just, you just see like sort of like overall the intensity go down. But if I do it here, you know, I'm gonna be able to like cut more directly, like, obviously this will be in frame. Sorry, I keep banging your light meter. But like, you know, like if I do it here, you can see it on her leg. Like it's a very, can you? No, you can't. Can you see it here? Like it's because it's closer. It's hard to because she's wearing a black shirt, but we can try it again when she's wearing her white shirt. Where were we? Oh, you were gonna add that, sorry.
Another thing too about flags, is that in here, let's get that a little better. When you get, instead of just kind of cutting straight, if you like work on your notes, so this way as like a topper and this one as a bottomer, you get a little bit more cutting. This one makes sense. I know school group too.
Yeah, no, it does. So anyway, are we adding you're adding that?
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna, you see what this bounce is doing? Right. Now if you wanna go crazy. But I think this is doing some good work, right? So, we're gonna Here we go. Oh. Because we'll need this later for a pizza box or something. And then usually for good practice, because with the fill, we're working off our key. Ideally, you find, or well, I like to do this, like I'll find where I want the bounce to be, and then I'll have someone come find me with the gear. Like with the, yeah.
Yeah, I'll usually bite them.
Yeah, because
you kindly bite them.
yeah, because then sometimes people will set up the bounce on a C-stand and, you know, have it ready, and then it's going to be sometimes harder to find the right angle.
Yeah.
So it's easier if you're just like free with the bounce, and then boom. So, yes.
What is, like, is that like a wrench? Or what?
Oh, that has so many names, right? Huh? Duckbill, quacker. They have an insane name for it in Boston. Do you know it? Like, does any? Huh? Platypus. I've heard platypus as well.
Does it have like an official title? Like.
Yeah, like duckbill clamp. I think Matthews calls it duckbill clamp. But I swear to you, in Boston, they call it something like oinkadoink. I swear to God. Has anybody heard this?
Yeah, like I've heard it before. Yeah.
Like, I thought they were fucking with me when I first heard it. I was like, there's no way. And that's just what grips call it, like 2 states away. So, just so you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
See? Now her face looks. Or shower. Sorry, that's fucked up. You're like, okay. So now her face looks like beautiful and even, and you know. We don't have anything crazy, do we? How do you feel it looks?
What about like shadow on like her left and your right? Like, is that something that you would be aware of?
This?
Yeah. Like, is that something that you would prefer to keep, or like what's the?
I don't mind it in this case, because I feel like it is not too harsh. But sometimes, I mean, sometimes what you do is you add more light or you change the angle of the key, but you will always have like just something here, like because just like the shadow that you get on the nose, you just gotta try to make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible. Yes.
I kind of had a similar question. Like, I would probably tend to like bring this down
Okay.
a little bit, like fill in with the chin, but then you have the issue where you're spilling onto the wall. So if you're in a space such as this where you can't move everybody away from the wall to eliminate some of that, to keep the contrast between the subject and the background, like, are there any thoughts on like how to avoid that shadow and keep under the chin at a similar level to the key side without actually spilling? Because I can't really think practically how you do
It
that,
is.
right?
It's like a very
Paint the wall.
world of like, there's like many opportunities to, or many ways to do that. But like, for example, one thing that we did talk about that you very often will have to do, if not always, on interviews is this, right? And right here, we're not getting a lot, but sometimes you'll just do this. Like, you know, but then sometimes that's not what you want, right? Or like you have to finesse it, and every time it's gonna be different. Like, you'll never have like, oh, this is how I light interviews. You can do that, but it's always gonna look, because every person is gonna be looking different, right? They'll have different chins and eyes and stuff. What's up?
So let's say you wanted the background to be darker, would you just change to the smaller umbrella or just a smaller focus light?
That is absolutely an option, having an umbrella that is only 3 foot in diameter will definitely focus it. But the other thing that we're gonna do,
I'm gonna just show
sweet.
you a little trick I like to do of like figuring your thing out. Is
Stand
like
by 1 second. We'll get.
Like as if it was like, it's a little thick. I'm not gonna cut this. It's not my husband. So sometimes let's take a look maybe of like here. Let's take it away and maybe look at the chin and then let's lay that back on the lap and then move your transit away and see that it might do something or maybe bleach mine like for a little bit more.
Sometimes something like this might do more. Sometimes we just use a little bit of ultra bounce, whatever. But to go back to get rid of that like just blast of light in the background. And Lulu is gonna help me with this. Just gonna do a topper now to try and cut from like here, right? So basically, having this huge, bigger umbrella allows me to have like a bigger, softer source, which means I sacrifice the like control and focus of a smaller one, but I can shape it. So I can keep the quality that this big thing gives me and then have a cutter on top, right? And so something like that. And so she's getting the beautiful light, but then I get rid of it from the wall, like around her. Yeah. What time is it? I'm not going crazy, right? Did someone? Yes.
Yes, could we also go over at some point working with like bad lighting? Like let's say we're not in a space where we get to bring a ton of lights. Like how do we make shitty lighting good?
I got you. Well, to an extent, right? Like you're always going to encounter different types of shitty lighting. But that's why I also want to try this. Not that the light is shitty, but it's just harder to make something beautiful when you have harsh light.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to be making her very, like, right? So, can you come down a little bit on it?
You want me to come down?
Physically, yeah. More. Yep. And get it closer to the unit a little bit. Oh, a little bit higher, sorry. That's my bad. I think about there. That looks good, I think. And also, I'm gonna need floppies cutting. Probably the floppy is gonna be here,
Okay.
cutting all of that.
Okay, got you.
How are we feeling so far? Any other comments, questions? Yes.
Could you, I think earlier you touched on it about like metering and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I think there was this part where you had mentioned that like if you and the DP agree on setting the camera like 5.6.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't remember enough of that interaction. What did you say about metering? I'm sorry.
What did I say about metering? About like the how you, totally. Basically, you do one overall measurement, right, to get an idea of where you are. But then something that I don't really do that much anymore, to be honest with you. I barely ever have to use my light meter much anymore because we just, the camera's right there, and then you can just like tweak it. I can be on the monitor and then, have tech tweak the light. But I did have to shoot or like light something for film very recently, and I am I'm not a nerd, but I'm a little bit on the nerdier side when it comes to film. It makes me very happy, and I'm like, that's what I came up with, and so I was like, yay. So you do one like overall measurement with the incident, the little ball, to measure the amount of light that's falling on it. Overall, where your main focus is, like in this case, it would be her face, pointing it directly at the camera and making sure that you're not blocking any of the lights.
Okay.
Also, very important when you're on set and you're working in lighting, that you're wearing all black. Most people don't do it. It's not the end of the world. But it's kind of great because if you're measuring light here, right, and you're wearing a bright yellow shirt or a white shirt, you're bouncing light, even if it's like on the side and whatever. So you're affecting the reading. So ideally, you just wear black cotton, wear. So you do that one main measurement, or like thingy. You get it? And that'll give you your overall, like an idea of where you are roughly, right? Like, if you dial in your ISO, you dial in your frames per second, all of these things into the light meter, and it'll tell you, well, you're about an 8. You're like, okay, well, we actually want to be at an 11 because we want a lot of depth of field because the whatever. Or you want to be at a 4 because you want XYZ, the DP will probably determine that, right? And so you adjust the intensity of your light, and then you can start breaking down the brighter side. I like to do it with reflective light, not incident, because it's telling me how the film is gonna read it. You know what I mean? Because like, it's not the same if someone has a red shirt and light skin, or like super pale, pasty, or if someone has a gray shirt with darker skin. So I can have the same amount of light coming in, but the film and the sensor are not gonna read it in the same way. So I like to maybe even over measure just for my sanity when I'm doing film. And so I have an idea of what it's gonna look like roughly by measuring the incident light overall. And then I go at it with the reflective, the incident. Do you have your light meter? Yeah. Can I have it again? So I first do one, right, where like I have my screen here that I can read it. She's there, and I measure, boom. Oh, it's telling me whatever, right? And then I flip it here, because this thing, do you have a flashlight? Ooh. So, right, we are shooting 24 frames per second. We're shooting 3200 ISO or EI, exposure index ISO, it's the same thing, basically. And then this is gonna tell me what my stop is, right? So right now you see this little ball here, right here, the one that's flashing, everybody sees it. I'm gonna go measure here. So, I'm gonna get behind her. We're at an 8, right? 8 and 1/10. So you can see it, we're at an 8.
What's the 8, the aperture?
Yes, the iris, what the iris, like if you set it, if you put your iris at an 8, it will all look properly exposed.
And you said,
ever stop up or down based off if the person has extremely dark or pale skin?
Kind of yes, but also no. Like you have to adjust your lighting and your exposure to the person's skin tone.
Right.
Yes.
No, I was talking about that shit.
And then me, if I'm shooting film or if I'm lighting film, right? And just also because I'm a little bit anxious sometimes, but that's my problem. But this is, I'm not saying this is like, oh, what you should do. It's just what I'm saying that I do so that I can sleep peacefully at night when I'm lighting film, right? I'll switch it to this little thingy. You see how this changed from the circle to the little that, right? So now I'm gonna go, and without blocking the light or bouncing any light from my shirt, right, because I'm wearing black, I'll do this. Oop. Sorry, I need to focus it. So her bright side is giving me about a 2 1/3.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. And his his iris is set at a 4. Does that make sense? So kind of, but it doesn't mean that I have to set the iris like to the exact iris that the bright side is giving me, because she has brown skin. So it is telling me what it will look like at a 4. So it's gonna look, I don't wanna say perfect, but it's gonna look like the way it should look. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna look underexposed, it's just gonna look the way it should look, like her.
2 stops under middle gray. 2 stops under middle gray.
Basically, yes. Does that make sense? And so I would probably go and like measure like the wall on the back, sometimes when you're shooting against windows, it's very helpful because you can shoot like what the wall looks like and then what the window outside, what it looks like. So sometimes you'll have like a 4 or an 8 inside on the walls, but then you have like a 32 outside. And now you have to put NDs on the wall, or you have to bring up the ambience inside, right? Did I answer
Yeah, no, you did.
roughly?
Thank you
Yeah?
very much.
Sweet.
Very
Clearly?
thank you.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah. Okay. Makes me happy. All right. What else? Where were we? Thank you, Lulu. How are you feeling? You thirsty? You hungry? Go pee. Yeah. Bro, just call me. It's chill. She's tired of my shit. She's quitting. No, she'll be right back. I'm gonna drink more water because I haven't shut up. I'm thirsty. Güey, me encanta tu tatu. No mames, no mames, no mames, güey. Te lo vi en cuanto empezamos y yo. ¡Oh! Do you guys, what time is it? Should we take a break? Because I could keep on.
Yeah, that's not my fault.
250? Do you guys want to take like a 10-minute break so you can have a drink and a snack and then we come immediately back? Because I just realized I haven't shut up for like a fucking hour and a half. All right, let's be back. It's 250? Let's come back at 3. Thank you. All right, taking a tiny break. Feel free to grab a snack or like fuck around with the lights. It doesn't matter.
Profesora.
¿Qué hubo, qué hubo, qué hubo? ¿Qué lo que? I feel like I go into like a mode when I.
Just layers. There's a lot of
Because I'm
stuff
like,
unravel.
yeah, because I'm
You're
like,
like, oh, here's the light meter. This is how it works. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I was
it's
like,
fun.
here's a light meter, and then I'm like,
Steps.
where do I even fucking start
No,
with
it's
this
a
shit?
lot. It's so much to break
Thank
down.
you. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah.
You're making me feel like I'm
Doing
not.
great. Yeah, no, totally. No, well spoken.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm also, everybody is very interested in being here and participating, which is really nice.
Thank you so much. This is so great.
Gee, of course, any fucking time.
Learning a lot.
Great.
I'm trying to, by the way, I'm on my phone 'cause I'm taking notes.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Rude, like I'm like,
You're no. I'm old, but I'm not old enough that I'm like, why is she on her phone?
Well, the whole thing's gonna be archived too on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You can revisit it as well.
yeah, I just have like,
Oh my god! Holy shit!
take pictures. I'm gonna put it all here. Go back to it, look at it. You know.
Hell yeah. And like, I can give you guys my number and you can like hit me up for random shit. I'm more than happy.
Can I?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sorry to interrupt. Use these
Yeah, fuck with it. Yeah, go crazy.
My friends and I, one of them, he graduated from Hunter, and Ella and I are both at Hunter College. I'm in the graduate program, like it's a documentary.
See, yeah.
Ella's in the film and media department. I'm Ella.
exclusively, really. Yeah.
G&E mostly?
Grip is like my bread and butter. I'm trying to be a career grip. But again, I mean, listen, I've first received for film before.
Hell yeah.
Headed, sharpen, and focus
I've
again.
done sound. I've done
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything.
Also at the beginning, I was like everything.
I mean, I never
Oh, I have. Not that much though. I was lucky that I didn't have to BA for too long, but
I
yeah.
just went straight to gas.
Oh yeah.
And then sound was just because I had the equipment,
That-
it needed
yeah.
help. But
All right.
All right.
We're back. Yeah, now we're gonna go to lighting. Fucking white t-shirt. Oh, sorry. Back in. We're gonna do a lovely white t-shirt. Because it's very difficult to, and then sometimes like you'll have the subject show up with like a silk,
Camera's rolling.
you know, like white silk shirt that just, oh sorry, I keep touching my mic, sorry, that just shines and sucks. And sometimes they don't have anything to change to, and you just gotta make do. So we're gonna get rid of our beautiful lights, and we're gonna, sorry, bring in the harsh lights behind you. Sorry. And now we're gonna have you look to the other side, if you don't mind. Oh, wrong. No. Hang on. I'll probably actually pull it back. All right, striking. Whoa. It's also hitting the bounce like fucking straight, and it blinded me. All right. Oh, so this is, sorry, this was like an accident. Sometimes, not for interview, just because this is something that I love, a skip bounce when you're lighting narrative, hitting the light. Usually I'll do it with like a spotlight, like the one that we have back there, hitting the light on the ground and setting like on the floor something like ultra bounce or unbleached muslin or anything, and then using that almost as your key. Looks pretty cool when you're doing some narrative stuff. Anyway, that was a side note. We're gonna go back to lighting Diana for an interview. It's gonna blind you a little bit. I'm so sorry. So as you can see, this is ugly as shit. Sorry, it's also, so, floor. Also, these lights are so strong. We're gonna start here, just so that we can actually see it on the monitor. Harsh light. The white t-shirt is just completely blown out. You could never deliver this. You could underexpose it a little bit, but the light is way less than ideal, right? So, who was asking about this? Where is she? She left. Oh. Huh? No. The young person who asked about having terrible light. Anyway, I think she left. It's okay. Anyway, it was still something that we were going to talk about. So here we go. I don't want to be like, oh, is he signaling at us? No. How would you guys go about this? Any ideas? Yeah.
Some barn doors that you don't have like this crazy amount of fill in it.
That's a very good idea. We could just like start cutting it. Anything else? Yeah, who said that? Diffusion? Hell yeah. Because production didn't have money for accessories, right? So we're stuck, So we just have that. So we're gonna diffuse the fuck out of it, right? So we're gonna start with a 250. So, can I move you a tiny? Thank you. Oop. So, oh, that was loud, sorry. So, as you can see, I would say that's already a little bit better, right? Let's just fill out the entire frame. Mírala. Sí, Sally. I know that you do. I'm just playing. I think it's a bigger one. Yeah. Oh. Sorry. And let's. Wait. Wait. Leave it. Lo quiero llenar todo el. All right. So already, I mean, we're also losing a lot of intensity naturally because we're cutting. Do you know how much a 250 cuts? Is it like a stop? Stop and a half?
Like a stop and a third, maybe, but not a,
Okay.
about a stop and a third.
So this is a half diffusion at 250. Yes?
I have a good question. Where do all the numbers come from? 250, 260?
That's, I have no clue.
I know.
That's what Lee calls them.
Copy that.
Honestly, I'm not sure how they came up with them. I just learned them at some point. 216 is full diffusion.
Okay.
250 is half. 251 is quarter. Oh shit, I don't have the Lee app. What?
The other thing too is like, I believe, right, the higher number you go, the heavier the diffusion gets, right? Am I mistaken?
No, because 216 is full and 251 is quarter. Oh, this is 216. Huh?
No, in terms of like the lesser number for the low. Like the smaller, no wait, I'm saying it opposite.
I don't know.
They added more specific ones like later on, so there's like higher numbers or sometimes like.
It's, I think, because also like, for example, opal, we call opal, but it also has a number.
Yeah.
Hampshire frost, we call Hampshire, but it also has a number. You know what I mean? Like, it's just in New York, we all know what 216 is. We all know what 250 is. And it's also like, it has a specific name because it's not just like the only diffusion that there is, you know? And if, oh my God, Tough Spun. Have you guys ever used Tough Spun? Right? I fucking love Tough Spun. Tough Spun is just like a fabric. Sorry, I keep cursing. It's just like, it's like a fabric. Thank you, Fred. That's just like, it looks like fabric, right? Like,
Have you guys ever seen like for Halloween decorations, kind of like the spider web?
there you go.
Yeah.
So it's
Or-
kind of like that similar concept, but imagine it gets flattened out into like a sheet. Like
Yeah, it's like
people.
between like felt, you know, like felt, like a really thin felt that kind of looks like those spider webs, spider webs. And you put like a strong hard light in front of that, and then on the other side of the Tough Spun, you have this like soft, beautiful, just wonderful light.
And it looks like a net because it's like the way it's woven.
Yeah.
Like it has parts of the fabric or the filter.
It's
that,
like it's all
open,
different.
heavier.
Yeah,
It's really beautiful.
it's pretty cool. We don't have it here. I didn't think of it. I'm sorry.
It's a little expensive too.
Yeah.
Like $100 for a roll.
Anyway, so now we have one diffusion. I think I'm also gonna go, I wanna go higher. I keep wanting to go higher on the unit. No, it's okay. We should put the T-bone now in front of it. So we're gonna double break it just to make it even softer. And also, like, the closer you have the diffusion to the source, the less it diffuses, like the less it spreads it out. So here I have a 4x4. We try to fill out the entire diffusion with the light. the way you choose the size of a diffusion has very little to do with, like the size, right? Like it has very little to do with the quality that you want. Like I've had the misfortune of working for DPs who will tell me what the gear that I should use is, and I've definitely had someone ask me to get a 2K Fresnel and a 12 by 12 magic cloth, right? So I have a unit this big, right? The face that you're making, exactly. Like this big, right? That's just blasting, barely filling a 4x4. And then I have this huge frame that's just fucking empty. It's like, just have a 6x6. I would, wait. I would leave it like in front, like further. Yes, sorry. I didn't communicate that. Yeah. Yeah. Also, we have the privilege here of telling the camera what to do, which never happens. Usually you're just like trying to break the wall down so that you have, that you have more room that way. Sweet. Where was I? Wait, I was totally talking about something. Oh, the size of a diffusion. So here we do a 4, and then we'll do a 6x6, just because we're gonna try to get the entire 6x6 to be lit by the 4x4, right? And if we were to triple break it, which we're not gonna do, we would probably go to an 8x or a 12x, I don't know. I was gonna say something else. I prefer to go thicker to thinner as you go with the diffusion. It makes sense to me. I'm not even sure why. I probably learned it somewhere, or I just liked it. I don't know. Yeah. Anybody? Yes.
It's a half in front, like in the very front, is that half?
It's a light grid. Yes. Right? Light grid. Yes. This. It's like a half. That's just the type of diffusion. It's a quarter? No. Wait, what? I don't know. I think it is 2/3. I am terrible with like knowing how much a diffusion, like how much they cut. I usually just adjust with either a dimmer or like the intensity knob on the light to what I need on camera. Or if I am doing something in film, I'll Google it. Fully, oh my God, ages ago, I used to carry the ASC manual. Anybody has an ASC manual? Rest in peace. The ASC manual, so the American Society of Cinematographers. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to be. Yeah, but that's just like a, bunch of dudes who. There you go. That's also a great one.
Yeah, get the set lighting
Yeah.
technician's handbook. That one's honestly probably better.
Yes, absolutely. About like being a technician. Yes, 100%. So, yeah, I just basically adjust the intensity according to what I need. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say there's a grip house out in LA, that Legacy Grip, that has like a.
Sorry.
They have a breakdown of all the stoppish intents you get from different diffusions.
Oh, really?
And I usually try to like keep it memorized. As soon as you get like a few of them down, you're like, and then you have a relative idea of like, okay, Magic Clock is getting like 2.5 to 2/3. I think it's debated what it is. Like you can kind of start guessing like, okay, likely for sure it's gonna be much less than that, or how it all kind of falls. You can kind of guess. It's pretty helpful.
It's something good for them to know, because some people do like broad sides, some do like short side.
I mean, sure. And I barely touched on it at the very beginning, and then I forgot to talk about it. Yeah. So, what are we? Can you move a little bit more to here. Yeah. And, sorry. Let's get this out of the way. Ooh. So, sorry. Gracias. All right, and we were talking earlier too about where you put the camera, or where you put the light in relation to where the camera is and where the subject is looking at. Do you guys remember me mentioning that? Basically, it's also about preference, but basically an easy way to go about it is you always want the light on the far side. Just because it kind of makes it look less lit, which, as soon as I said it, like that sounds weird. You're lighting it and it's gonna look lit, but it's what we're after, you know, after everything, we're still animals and we are attracted to things that seem organic and natural. And when we're looking at things, even though we're rational and intelligent and everything, we're still operating very like from our guts. So we always look at people's eyes. So when we're looking at an interview, right, we're gonna look at the person's eyes first, unless we're sociopaths, psychopaths. It's true. It's true. And so you wanna make sure that the eyes look good, but also, if you have the light in front of them, honestly, it's kind of boring. And if you have the light on the side of camera, like if you have the light on the far side, you're naturally like having like a subconscious curiosity about seeing what's around. Whereas if the closed side is bright and the other side is dark, you don't have this like desire to go look around, right? So it feels, this is also very much making a generalization and kind of like assumption about like, not assumption, but generalization about human psychology, but most of us have this like subconscious like desire to like see that because it kind of like rounds the face in your mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think also maybe good analogies, like if you've ever seen like medieval paintings and like how flat and two-dimensional it is, and it's like a bit like eerie and jar. It's like, yeah,
it's crap
to us because it doesn't feel natural or organic. And when you get to like Dutch painters or portraiture, like Rembrandt,
Caravaggio, yeah.
Or it's like then you're like, oh, there's like dimension. Like we're attracted to dimension. I think,
there you go. It's like, and it's like a very like just basic animal thing, I believe. What's up?
This is just something that's super interesting to me. Like the way I've always interpreted that is like, if the background's darker, right, then you're going like dark, light, dark, which like is depth. Where if it's like light, dark, dark, then it's like blends.
Yeah, it's just there's no, like it's not interesting, right? So, yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. Like if what's brighter is here in front of you, you don't have the desire to look further because, you know, like you have already, like you're directing the eye to where the light is. Whereas if you have the near side appropriately lit, but you have the far side a bit brighter, it's like it's guiding your eye around the entire face. It just looks more interesting. And then what we haven't done yet, and we should do, is have a backlight, right? Because right now it's great because her hair is black and the background is white. But if before, when she was wearing the black t-shirt, we had a black background, fucking nightmare. Like it would be just like it would disappear, her shirt would disappear into the background, and maybe her hair, even though it's like lighter. But is this powered? No. ¿Eh? No, ahorita no. And then I'm gonna go a little bit brighter on this. Is that crazy? And you should be, well, ideally it would have, if you're looking like here, I just so want the camera to be on this side, but that's fine. Sorry, look here. All right. And then, to have power on that. Striking. Ooh. I'm hoping you could see what the, oh, so that's blasting the side of her face, and that's not good. So, let me know when I'm in. Am I in front? Damn it. Is it still? Still hitting the side of your face. Right, so it's still blasting the side of her face. Do you see this? I like what it's doing with her hair. I really love it, but I don't want it just like smacking the side of her face. This would not be the light that I would choose for a backlight if I had to go on a stick like this. I would probably ask the grip to either arm it out, put it on a goalpost, like just put it behind her, but not directly on the stick, right? Like just offset it. A kicker and a backlight? It's probably the same. I think kicker, I don't think I've heard that.
I've always heard kicker from below.
Right now.
What's for rim light?
Oh, I've heard the opposite, honestly. I've always heard kickers like from below, like letting like the cheekbone.
You also can have like a backlight that's on the ground, lighting, you know. But yeah, I don't really have a good answer for you for that.
This is somewhat like doing a little
Yeah.
kicking.
I feel like hairlight's fine.
Yeah. Well, hair light and backlight, it's just, they're kind of like interchangeable, because usually a backlight you use to light their hair and separate it from the background or from their shirt or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
double check, maybe on the technology. You have now
Oh.
really what I've seen of
Like,
when it hits the side of the face,
that's, yeah. Yeah, because I like what it's doing on the shoulder, just. I would probably, yeah. Also, like, the lingo is, like, everybody uses it interchangeably sometimes. Like, I've heard people use terms very loosely, and then, like, I really don't know where kicker came from. No, I get it. Yeah. There you go.
No,
Dude,
just kicking
do you
for
know?
sure.
Do you know what one time when I first got here and like my English was all right, but there were like a lot of terms, I was talking to you earlier, there were a lot of terms that I was not familiar with in English, like I knew them in Spanish, and they were like completely different in English or whatever. And I was about to shoot my first short here in the US, and the director said to me that he wanted to use for some scenes, he said negative key lighting. Exactly.
That's when they bounce, I think, black.
No. So that is a thing that some people do. It's not a thing. It does not, don't, no. I've heard people say that's like a negative fill. That's not a thing. No, it doesn't do anything. No, so what he meant with negative key light was backlight. So the key light was behind, right? That's what he meant. He saw it somewhere online. He saw it like on a fucking blog. He had me losing my mind, Googling shit, going to the library and just like trying to read on. I eventually found the fucking Reddit post where he read this shit. I wanted to kill that man. Because I was like, dude, you're making me second and triple guess my knowledge, which is fair, you know, I could have learned something, but it's just like, yeah, sometimes terms can be a little.
My new rule on YouTube, if I don't see it, 10 different YouTubers.
Yeah. It might not be, yeah. And there's like some shit, I've learned shit from YouTube videos like many times, right? Like I don't put it down. But that like negative backlight thing had me losing my mind for over a month, I promise you. I was like, oh my God. I was asking some of my professors, like, and it was just a backlight.
I hate that shit. People will be like, give me a rim light, and then you'll be like,
What?
what rim light is? You must be the stupidest person ever. And it's like, bro.
Chill, at one point you didn't know. Yeah, also, since we're doing this, don't be like those people. Like when as you keep going in the film industry and lighting, don't be like those grumpy, arrogant assholes. Like nobody likes that shit. Just share your knowledge. And when you don't know something, say you don't know something and then ask people to teach you. Like that's the only way that yeah. Anyway, back to the kicker backlight hair light thing. I'm just gonna throw a diffusion in front of it so that it is still kissing her skin, but not blasting it like that. So I would, fuck it, silk. Which I've heard a lot of like DPs and gaffers hate on silks. Yeah. I'm not sure why.
I never use them.
I
never use them.
I've seldom used them, but I've heard a lot of people just like randomly one year, everybody started talking about how much they hated silks.
Oh, just trending.
I don't know if they saw it on a Reddit post. Not to put down Reddit either. You know, I do learn a lot there too. But yeah, I think it's just like a very even clinical maybe even way to diffuse light, like very evenly, very correctly, very just, I'll even say nice.
Sorry, can you just explain some of why you use a silk versus another type of diffusion?
Because it's what I have here in a small size.
Fair enough.
Literally, that's why. Yeah, if I had, if I had a tough spun in this size right now, that's what would be going in front of that. Tough spun, the one that we were talking about earlier, that's kind of like a mix between felt and like Halloween spider webs and yeah. And they have half tough spun, quarter tough spun, double tough spun. So it's just like a very thick fabric that knocks out most of the light and your, you know, most of the intensity. But yeah.
Verify their own legitimacy.
Can you go a little bit higher and, yep, closer, closer, closer to her? No, sorry, closer to Diana. There you go. And then go up, 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 up. Perfect. You're out. There's just a string there.
On off it, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, can you A/B it, please?
You want me to on off?
Yeah.
What did you call it?
Oh, A/B it. A
Oh,
and
oh,
B.
yeah.
Sorry, on off it is the same thing. Yep. Come back. See?
You're saying this.
Can you do it again? That's off. That's on. Do you see it? Here. Can you take it off again? Back on.
Takes a lot of it out.
There you go. Thank you. So you still have the hit there, but it's like very, very soft
I'd be curious to on
now.
off the light now too with the diffusion on.
Hmm?
I'd be curious to see if we can on off the light with the diffusion.
Oh, okay. Can you save the light for a second? Oh, that's
yeah,
off.
wow, yeah.
Bring it back on. So
The way
it's
you
like,
ease into
it's adding texture to her hair.
Yeah.
And bringing this side like back up a little bit without it being. Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
You always put that backlight on the edge of the key side, or because I've also seen like people have it
Either
like down low
on the
and
other
kinda do the chin
side.
there,
Yeah.
or like
that's-
if there's like a collar maybe that's something you could see. I wonder
It-
if there's like rules around that. Rules, but
yeah, it's like rules,
yeah.
but not rules. Like you just go depending on, I don't know, the space that you have. Like it's because a big part of it is taste, right? So, yeah, you can try out different things. Can we jump it to the other side? Let's jump it to the other side. Yeah, to see why not. And then I just want to do the shirt real quick afterwards. Let me. It'll come with me. You're the best, Lulu. Thank you. Am I in your frame? No. Whee! And now it's not going to be hitting her skin so much. Am I in your frame? Damn it. Can you go up a little bit? Is she in your frame? Just the corner, right? That good now? Great. All right, and if I can ask you to turn it on and off in a little bit as well, please.
That's cool.
So now it's like,
Yeah, I don't know what I like better.
it's a matter of
I know.
taste, yeah.
I was also thinking maybe get the light a little bit lower.
So that's on, yep. And can we have it off again? Thank you.
Yeah, it's such a huge
So it
difference.
does like, it adds so much.
Yeah.
Can you bring it back on, please? Yes.
I wonder
And
if we cut it off
then-
the wall.
Right, we really don't have time to get too crazy into shaping. Like there's so much that we could do, like we only have 3 hours. And so now the other thing that I want to do is like the shirt. Right now we're not like blowing it up, but sorry, sorry, that was bad. But let's say, right there, I would say her face is still, I mean, it's a little bit overexposed, right? Just we can tell just by eye. But then her shirt is starting to be a little too much because it's white. So we would probably shape a lot this light the way we were doing it with this one. Remember how we had like a topper and we were like putting a lot of solids, cutting light out of the walls, out of like everything, which would be great. But right now we can start, by cutting her shirt out, probably with like a 2x3.
Okay.
Or a bottomer. Yeah, let's do, yeah. See, that's why I wanted to have this higher, because then, anyway. But yeah, anyway, basically, when you don't have money in the budget for accessories or whatever, you have to compensate with a bunch of grippage. the reason why this would be one of my preferred methods is because you just snap one thing on the light and you already have a lot of control on it, right? So now, like, we can totally do this, but now we need extra flags, we need extra stands, we need extra time to make it look nice. So sometimes that's something that you can bring to production and be like, hey, you know, in the end, it's going to be easier, faster, and cheaper if you rent this one piece of equipment that right now seems like more money. But if you want me to make it look good with the time constraints and whatever, this is the better option. Yeah.
If you're trying to reduce the amount of like fill exposure you're getting from something like this, where you do want two pieces of diffusion, like at this size, would getting a tighter cone or like barn doors be a reasonable thing to do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now we have the wide reflector on it. We could have like a narrow or like a medium. That would help a ton. If we don't have it, then you start just like solids over, solids on the side. Yeah. And then there you go. Sorry. Gonna. Then. Whoop. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good because it's helping us a lot with the wall. But then this one, I kind of. No sé qué habría hecho sin ti. No sé qué habría hecho sin ti. Te lo juro.
¿Ahí?
Yep. Oh, no está bien, no te preocupes. Gracias. All right. And we can see this, right? Whoop. Huh? Oh, not on the, it's not in the frame? You're in the frame. Damn it. No, I probably put it more in the frame, right? Is this out? That's out. Jessica. Tell me when I'm in the frame. Huh? You're good. Whee! Such a bad grip. Thank you. All right, that did it a little bit. Does it make sense? Again, basically the main thing when you're lighting, especially an interview, it's just shaping the light. Like obviously, quality, intensity, directionality, all super important, but the way that you're gonna make it look like really, really good is gonna be shaped, like just cutting, diffusing, directing with lighting control and all of that. Basically this, because honestly, if I am lighting an interview, I wanna say 90% of the time it's gonna be a documentary, corporate crap, or that's basically it, right? Like every now and then you'll have a commercial and then you can go crazy because they're gonna have money and they're gonna give you time and
content, like
branded,
style,
yeah. But most of the time it's gonna be, and even if it's branded content, they're gonna be like in the influencer's house, you know? And it's just gonna be you by yourself, or you and one more person, like you and a key grip, or you and like a very hands-on PA, or they're gonna like, you don't have a lot of resources, you're not gonna have a lot of time, you're not gonna have a lot of space. So just coming in with one of these, like a 3-foot, you know, or 5-foot one, you're already controlling your light quite a bit, and just a couple more cutters and you'll do something good, I think. Yeah. Any questions? You want to come in and mess with the other? Oh, the other thing, sorry, before I forget, the other thing that I wanted to do, but I kept getting sidetracked talking about this, is having like maybe a splash of color, because if you get somewhere you don't have a cyc, you don't have a nice background, and you want to make it interesting, a splash of color would be pretty nice. If you want to do something with that 600 back there, Lulu. Yeah, that I asked, that I totally told you we were not going to use, and you disconnect. I'm so sorry. You can say.
You should go with a similar approach, like 2% you know, like.
Sorry?
Like let's say conversation.
Uh-huh.
Filming conversations.
Oh,
Different or?
so different. Like, same principles, but just because you have two people and probably at least two cameras, if not 3 or 4 or whatever. So it's same principles, right? But it completely changes, because if you have two people, like fucking Hot Ones, we all watched Hot Ones, right? 2 people looking at each other, you're looking at them on a wide here, and then a close-up, and then a close-up. How the fuck do you light that, right? Like where, oh really? Like where are the stands gonna be? I mean, I haven't worked on that one, but it's pretty obvious to me that it's either on like Menace arms or whatever. I would have probably something like a light mat, like a panel light, or like a sky panel or a Nova with a Chimera and a control grid, either on a goalpost, meaning 2 stands, either truss or like a just speed rail, whatever. You have the 2 subjects here. One light is hitting this subject from here, making sure that you don't spill on this subject. And then the other light is here, lighting this subject, right? And then maybe a little hair light, or, well, this guy, in the case of Hot Ones, doesn't have any hair, right? So you don't really need anything there. Bulb light. And then the other person, maybe a little bit of a highlight, hair light. He does have something. You could also do like a softbox. I was telling Lou, did an interview. Yeah, we did an interview for a documentary that still hasn't come out, where it was a person sitting like this, looking straight into camera with like that eye direct. We had a softbox over him, and we had a bunch of like Astera Titan tubes rigged behind him, because it was like in a warehouse, like that went really deep. And then we had light mats on the ground as a frontal key. We had like an overhead softbox, and that has been like the most time, people, and money that I've had for a documentary interview. Like we had a tech scout, we had a rigging day, but usually it's just like, hey, can you do an interview next week? And you're like, sure. And they're like, okay. I'm like, when's the tech scout? They're like, no. And then you just have to come up with whatever you can, right? Like you have to go in blind, and it's not ideal. But if you like paying rent, and you don't have to like it, if you like just not having to live on the street, you have to do shit like that, right? So you just go with it and do the best that you can, going in blind.
Is there another setup you have planned, or is it more?
I think these are the 2 main ones.
I guess I was kind of curious, like, is there a role you find for like more like top lighting in interviews at any case where like it's kind of filling in their face that way? This is a little more traditional, but if you wanted something that was more dramatic, maybe this like overhead, slightly
Overhead, yeah.
do wrapped around it to cut spill. Like, how does that ever go?
How do you mean like wrap around it to cut spill? Like I would just have a bunch of cutters.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like if this were pretty much directly overhead, maybe with a slight tilt.
Like on top?
Yeah, and then you have do wrapped around the softbox.
Yes.
As a cutting.
So I probably wouldn't maybe I would use this. I actually used in this studio for something that I shot for Deanna. We rigged 2 600s right here with this, sorry, I'm gonna jump it here. Whoop. Huh? we used two 600s, sorry, like this, with literally this unit, two of them with those same accessories were rigged on top of that. And then we had probably, I want to say 8x8 diffusion around it. I'm sorry, under it. And then we had, on a frame. On a frame, we had the two 600s like this, or maybe we had them at an angle, I can't remember. And we had duvetine skirting the whole thing, like cutting the sides, but also skirting the, yeah. And we also had, we had a spot in the back for backlight for, yeah, and we had, I believe, a sky panel on the ground for, or was it a light mat, something like that. So, but it wasn't like exactly an air view, but yeah, we used like a softbox to light just everything from the top. And then we would like just go around with a bounce. Yeah. Thank you. Ken? Yeah, and right now because we're getting, this is so not controlled and the light is going everywhere because of all the diffusion. If we had time to shoot, to set up like negative here, like just a solid, like to build a black box around it, it would be lovely. But we don't have money, we don't have people, we don't have accessories. Just do what you can. And then, ooh, we should do some bisexual lighting. Yeah. Let's go, do that one in blue, and I'm gonna do this with pink. Hang on. This is not even plugged. I thought it was plugged. Do you have, I have a cube tap. Oh, true, totally, thank you. Can it be any deeper?
Any deeper, like,
Um,
saturation?
yeah. How do you output mine? Huh?
It's pink and magenta.
I really don't know how to use these lights. But I have the Sidus. Yeah, there you go. And then just do this one pink and that's it. Yay. So not. So yeah, I'm gonna probably dim this down. So yeah, what time is it? Any questions? Any other?
Like lighting a, I don't know, like food or subject,
Mm-hmm.
similar
Food?
concept. Yeah, like food or like beverages or like.
Oh my God. I mean, the principles are the same, right? You want it to look nice. Usually, you don't want it to look bad, right? So you don't want to. You want to be careful with your color temperature, with the quality of your light. It's not easier. I keep wanting to say, I was about to say it's easier, but it's not easier. It's just, it's completely different. Yeah, and like, I worked for Martha Stewart for a while. So, like, we got to light food and like the process of cooking a lot. So it's like, it's very different, but the principles in the end are the same. You just don't have this depth usually because you're measuring, like shooting against the table, but then sometimes you're shooting like this and there are windows in the back and there, you know, so you still have to create this depth and not blow out things, and yeah, that's it.
Crazy question. I know that like with LEDs, sometimes like colors can get a little wonky when you're shooting organic stuff, especially food. And I'm wondering, back when you were shooting for Martha Stewart, was there like a clear preference for tungstens over?
We only had HMI and tungsten.
Okay, got you.
I like straight up shot. We had a lot of sunlight coming in through the windows. I had a couple M18s that are ARRI HMIs that are 1800 watts.
Okay.
And then we had some tungsten units that we just like fully corrected CTB, like correct to blue gels to make it blue, white light thing. Right. And then just like a lot of diffusing, a lot of like shaping. Yeah.
And do you think with modern LED lights that that's changed, or do you think it would still be the same when you're doing like high level food photography?
It has, it's like certain aspects of it have definitely changed, but the goal is still the same, right? Like what you want to do and what you want the end result to be is still the same. Definitely, it depends also on the quality of your LED light, right? Like sometimes it's just a bad light in itself. It's like cheap or whatever, but it's what you have, and then so it's like, it's completely different, but it's still the same, you know, kind of, yeah.
Like the biggest LEDs are not nearly as big as the biggest traditional LEDs.
Yeah. But yeah, like the new Sky panels are pretty solid with color. Like the quality of color, it's just like mind blowing. Well, for LEDs, you still like blast a tungsten unit next to it and you see skin tone and you're like, oh, fuck. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well, you know.
Using the new ones?
Hmm?
Have you been using the new
Yeah,
ones?
yeah.
Like people aren't really like catching on to it as much. Like I see the S60s and then I just see Vortexes.
Yeah, they're cheaper, that's why. Yeah, and like a lot of people just go with the Vortex because it's cheaper. Yeah, but the X21, yeah, like it's just the color, the quality of the color of the actual light. Like a lot of people don't care. Like honestly, a lot of the people working in this, they don't care, right? And they're like, oh, it's just bright, it's bright, let's go. And I'm like, right, but it makes that person look kind of green, kind of like blue, kind of like, you know? Yeah, so, yeah. It didn't. Oh, sweet. You're the best, Lulu. What? Just do it like that, like a little wash. Yeah. Also, what was I gonna say? I blanked. Oh, because we were talking about bisexual lighting. Just a joke, because it just like, it's not a joke. It became a thing because they'll like just throw pink and blue light on people, and it just, it's a great balance. It looks great, and then you do it on the background, you do it on the person, whatever, and because it's kind of like the bisexual flag, people call it bisexual lighting. It's very hip. I don't know. Just everybody does it, and there have been so many times too that I've done it by accident, not even trying to do it, because I'm like, let's look for colors that look good on this, and then you finish, and then someone walks in that wasn't there, and they're like, oh, you guys are doing bisexual lighting.
Yeah.
I guess I am.
I mean,
Yeah.
trends come in waves, you know?
Yeah,
Things are
yeah,
always
and there's a
evolving.
reason why things become trends, because it's like, kind of works until you get tired of it, and then you go on to the next thing.
It's all about just like cooking up new dishes and seeing
There
what
you go.
works, what doesn't work.
There you go, exactly. Yeah. Sweet. That's a little bit bisexual, right? Oh, can we go down in intensity on yours, please? Because right now it just looks white.
I think it's the key itself is too high.
0.4?
To work with these.
Can you walk it back? What happened?
I think the key itself is too high to.
The key, yeah, because also the key is spilling on everything right now because we're not shaping it.
Happens.
Yeah, but I don't want to be too like open. Like just imagine that this is shaped, but I also don't want to waste time on that. I don't know. How do I feel?
Why did this happen? Why did this like event happen? Just for
David hit me up one day
yeah.
and was like, "Hey, someone gave us your number we're like I'm with Matria. We're gonna do a workshop for lighting. Are you interested?" Or I think he sent me a text. No. I just freelance.
Are you non-union only, or union?
Well, the union wouldn't let my kind in.
Okay.
Kind of joking, kind of true. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I shoot and do cam op for a bunch of shit. But I've mostly been gaffing for over a decade now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Mexico.
From Mexico.
Hell yeah.
How long you been in the States for?
14 years in August.
Why New York?
Because fuck LA. No. But a little bit. I don't know. I always kind of. Sorry. Because I always kind of wanted to be in New York. And I also had this fantasy of the industry being pure and wonderful out here as opposed to LA where it was just an industry and blah blah. And I was like, oh, in New York. Or,
Where in Mexico?
you know, Tepic Nayarit. You've probably never heard of it. Yeah, but I went to film school in Guadalajara. Yeah. I moved to Guadalajara to go to university, to college, whatever, to do film school, which in those terrible shithole countries is free. So I didn't have to go into debt or pay anything to go to film school and get my degree. And I then came here to get another degree because it was like the only way that I could get something that looked like anything like a path towards getting a work permit. So from there, I just kind of like kept.
Do you think it was easier then or now to get a work permit? I just have so many like international friends that are like struggling with this.
It is horrible.
Yeah,
Like the stress. Like I really don't know whether it's easier or harder. It sucked at the time, and I know that it fucking sucks right now for artists, right? It's both easier and harder because as long as your lawyer understands what it is that they're trying to prove to immigration that you need to blah, 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 because art is subjective, so they just need to prove like numbers and letter from people who are whatever. But they're not that interested in having more artists. Whereas if you're like STEM, it's easier to get a work permit. I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, my best friend, his wife from Monterey, and she, they went through like 3 or 4 different immigration lawyers before they found someone that really knew like what to do. I mean, she's in fashion, so it's a little bit more.
Yeah, narrow. Yeah. Yeah, it's just complicated in so many ways. Yeah. Well, I could go on and on about that. Believe me. What time is it? How are we doing?
Distract too much.
Sorry.
My favorite thing to do is just like distract.
You're doing great now. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's all part of the. Yeah, it's just the fact that this light is going everywhere, so it barely looks pink.
You want me to pump up the intensity? Or not the intensity, the hue? Or saturation?
Can you saturate it more? Oh, hell yeah. I thought that was, yeah, totally. Thank you. Before you strike it. All right. What time is it?
4:07.
Oh shit! We're way past. Sorry. You guys are free. I didn't realize how late it was. Thank you so much.
Do your thing. We're not
Any
like cut it
Oh,
off.
cool.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
Yeah, we have like another.
Thank you.
But if you wanna
All right.
start, like
I'm
like
gonna
down.
wrap it up. All right. Any? Oh, sorry. You guys have any? Woo. Oh, of course, of course. Happy to.
Do like content creation and stuff, but
Happy to help.
definitely like add this to my like workflow.
Definitely, definitely. And
Images look even more beautiful.
anything helps, right?
And like, as I kept asking the questions about food. And
Oh, totally. Yeah, 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 yeah.
honestly, a lot of like
I like
golden nuggets. So really appreciate it.
diffusion and like cutters are your friends. Like always, cutters like shaping, flags, solids, like anything that cuts, reflections, hotspots, anything like that will help you for everything.
It's easy to see the light, how something is lit, but then it's learning how to recreate it.
And that's
Like,
the
a
thing.
big
It's like
difference.
exactly
A lot of
like
people take photos,
good
and it's just
pictures
like-
because you can recognize good lighting, but then creating it is where it gets complicated. Exactly, exactly.
That's what I'm trying to like improve.
Absolutely. Well,
You say like
hoping this helped a little bit. So.
gripping and like having this world help you with like
Oh,
camera operating.
absolutely.
Probably like
It's just like
you like DP
crucial.
or,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
entering that route.
Yeah, exactly. And like being able to know how to light helps so much. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Jessica. Jessica Curiel.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for
Michael, nice to
coming.
meet you.
Michael.
Yeah.
A pleasure.
Instagram?
Thank you so much. Yes. I don't really post my work there.
all
I
right.
was telling them it's just like pictures of my dead dog and
Fixes
my
you.
political
How
No.
long has your dog been gone for?
a year and a half.
Man.
Like I'm better with it now.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Erin.
Oh, Erin's like my one of bestie.
She's
How do you know Erin?
fucking amazing. We've worked together.
We've
a
done a
few
whole
times.
show together.
Really?
We did the
Because
other two
she's
together.
working with the union, right?
Oh
Usually.
yeah, we know a lot of this.
She's wonderful.
This class, I'm Eric, by the way.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I was gonna Olivier too. He does the whole immigration
Oh,
artist thing.
I've never met him in person. We've only messaged
Olivier's like
about.
the nicest guy.
I had phone calls with him about like immigration lawyers and what to do and what not to do and how to approach
We did
it.
a feature together. I was
Oh,
camera assistant
sweet.
with Gaff, but he was telling me like
decided to pick one up.
it's funny because you can kind of thread the line a little bit in terms of what type of work he does.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knows
Because
what
nobody
it means to be a
knows.
cinematographer.
And and so you can. I told him about that because I was like, when I did my application, it was just like I do lighting and camera and this and this is.
Did Studio One at all?
No, I don't think so.
I've been to other states. I've
I
been
don't
to
think so.
My friend manages that space.
Oh.
I just work there a lot. Honestly, like part of the reason why I wanted to come to this was just like
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry. I abandoned.
It's like a white psych space, and I do a lot of just like they have like a gaffing service, which I'll like fill in for some time. It's like super easy, but I'm always like too much spill, like too much, like I don't know, like I gotta really dial it in, and it's
Yeah. It's just
You know.
the
yeah.
floppies, 8x T-bones.
All right. Well,
That's it.
yeah.
Oh, for me, right now, go home. I don't know. I am working on a bunch of things. I do camera operation for Sesame Street here and there.
That's still going on.
Yes, sorry, yes. Barely, but yes. Yeah. So I came up for them. I was there yesterday. No, I don't know. And also I am on the side that does like all the green screen, blue screen, LED walls, like all the techie shit. Yeah, we're not ever really at the studio, like the actual studio. They are this. I hope not, but it might be the last season. It's really scary because HBO fucking dropped them. So they're shooting season 56 right now, but they don't have a home for it yet. Like they don't have a streaming platform, they don't have a channel, they don't have.
Like, why did you take it from PBS to begin with?
Don't get me started. Like I don't understand because they got a fucking CEO that's like a business person or whatever the fuck.
Because they dropping Looney Tunes too.
Dude, it's just, like, because it's such a great resource for kids, dude. Like it's just anyway. I do work there quite a bit, and then I just whoever calls me if I'm available and the job doesn't sound too insane, I'll jump on it.
What you do for work, like film
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. We should. Okay. Sorry. Yes, I am.
Do you ever get to work?
Over there, yes, a little bit at the beginning. It's good. It's less money. It's the industry is so much bigger now that I'm here. In Mexico City, it's always been big, but I was in Guadalajara, and the industry was like very limited. It's still limited, but it's a lot stronger than it used to be. But yeah, Mexico City is just there's a lot, right? But yeah, every now and then when I go back, I'm like, shit, I should try to sneak in a gig here or there, you know? But yeah, I actually, yeah.
Is it like the terms in Spanish? Is it like difficult to like? I speak Spanish.
Okay. You'll just have to learn the slang.
In Colombia.
Ah, okay.
But I'm born and raised here, and I learned about Latin
Yeah.
here. But would you say would be like a difficult transition if I were to try to do something over there?
At first, it might be in terms of like just knowing the slang, knowing the terms, you know. But give it a shot,
Yeah.
right? Like, why not? There's a lot of industry in Colombia too. Like,
Is it mainly
Fuck.
like what type of
Netflix.
projects?
There's a lot of like telenovelas, series, like TV shows, like episodic, whatever. There's quite a bit in Colombia and in Mexico City for sure.
That would be cool. That'd be super.
Yeah, get in touch with people over there, see if like,
What would
you
you
know.
say would be like the best way to reach out to people from there?
I don't know, but I would probably, do you have family back there?
Yeah, my mom's side is Colombia.
I would start asking them if they know of anything, anybody, any studios, anything that the locals know about, right? And then start
Building up from
asking around, through there, see if you know anybody in common, or if you have the opportunity to go stay with someone and just hit the ground and like meeting people. Yeah, because I think the way that I would go about it if I'm thinking about going to Mexico City, I know a few people in the industry, so I would hit them up. So yeah, I would find contacts, you know, that are like not random people that you approach online because they're never gonna answer, or maybe they will, I don't know. But usually, if you find them online, it's because they have like a bunch of followers and there's like 1,000 people messaging them, you know? So they might not even look at I don't know. Yeah, I think I would either go there for like a month and see, or ask your mom's family, man. You might end up being related to someone who, you know what I mean? Like that
would be
happens.
amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a really cool experience.
Yeah, you'd probably love it too. It's like, oh my God, nice
Now
weather,
that I think of
happy
it,
people.
Have you seen Cien Años de Soledad?
No,
It's filmed in Colombia.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. There's like a lot of like stuff like that. Yeah, I on purpose didn't watch the show because I've read that book at least 4 or 5 times. I love the book.
I need to read it.
I love the book, and I've loved it since I was very young. I had no business reading that book at fucking 15, 14 when I read it, and I loved it. And I know that Garcia Marquez said expressly that he didn't want that book to ever be made. Like, he authorized all the other ones to be made into movies, which, who cares, whatever. I'm happy that they made it because it introduced the story to a bunch of people who never would have known this story. But I mean, like, I like that book so much that I'm like, I was gonna be mad if I watch it.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a bunch of work over there, so.
You mainly gaff in New York.
Yes, almost, unless they take me from here to somewhere else. I'm based here and I work here. Yeah.
I'm mainly electric.
Oh, cool. Cool. Stay in touch, man. Hit me up. My Instagram, I don't really do like for work Instagram. I don't post my work there or anything. I'm not good at networking like that. But if you message me there, yeah. Because sometimes I need people and nobody's available. And maybe you will be. All right, let's wrap it up. Can we get the house lights? Come on. All right, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, I don't know what to say. Thank you to Matria, thank you to Babe and Aperture. Thank you guys, thank you guys. Thanks everybody for coming. Shout out to Matria, shout out to Babe.
Shout out to this babe, Jessica.
Thank you. Shout out to Aperture. Yeah, thank you so much for. Shout out to Diana for so kindly sitting there. Thank you, Dianita. I owe you one. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Feel free to stay for the next few minutes. We're going to start breaking the lights down, bringing the cameras down.
Yep.
Again, thanks for coming on behalf of Matria and Babe Studios. Find us on Instagram. We have like internship programs coming up. We have job opportunities coming up. Don't be afraid to reach out, DM us, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie.
What was the?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
You want to do it with the light? I look nice. That was it. It looks like, yeah.
That's me.
Awesome.
There you go.
And I'm Santiago.
Santiago.
Nice to meet
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're just gonna turn on the lights for a picture.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was thinking to get you.
Striking.
Lulu.
Should we kill house lights then?
Yeah, probably.
Sorry. That's smart.
I just want to get it because I got this nice one, but I want to get this
It's, yeah.
Was it last where you said?
Whatever, I
Oh, well, they're opening the door, so.
Yeah. I was on that for like a day.
Are they killing us? I am so thirsty. My phone. Oh, shit.
I went for the 1 day too.
I'm in. I'm fine with it. So I figured out, yeah, me and then collab on stuff. Yeah. I like
Where's Deanna?
How you doing? Yo, thank you so much.
Of
That was
course.
incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It was a
you're
pleasure
great.
for me
Fantastic.
too. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, friend. That was incredible.
Of course. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I think our guy Ken's coming around 5.
Okay, we're gonna.
Take your time, you and Lulu. We'll help you break
Cool,
things
cool,
down,
cool.
help you load it up, and we'll call it a day from there.
Oh, yeah.
It's good, and then I'll send you all invoice details. Don't you
Oh,
worry.
sure, yeah.
You know, we'll make
Thank
take care
you.
of
Strike the background light too.
Okay. Hell
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Hell yeah. No, that was really fun.
I had a great time. Yeah. All right.
Let's
Well-
go. Do you want to get that background light on too? I just want to get a great
Oh,
photo
sure.
of you.
Yeah. Something. Sorry. It's trying to. Striking. Don't look at it. Striking.
this equipment and we
Sorry, I fell on you. I tripped on my own pants. Sorry, a little clumsy. Huh? Oh shit, yes. Thank you. I like.
So you know.
All right, everybody, over here. 3, 2, 1.
Now we're frowning.
Thank you for everything. It was so wonderful.
Thank
Do
you,
you
thank
have
you,
an
thank you for coming.
Instagram?
I do.
You know the ladies in the
I
the business. I gotta follow all the girlies.
I'm so bad at being like networky on
Girl,
Instagram.
me too. I'm not.
But I reply, and I'll follow you back,
we
and
know-
I
we
will
have
support you.
mutuals.
We
You know
probably do.
Jenny?
I love Jenny.
I just worked with her on the thing
wonderful.
that she just posted. The work that they're fundraising for. I was her second AC, so she's wonderful. She's super
She's
talented.
amazing. I was actually gonna get something for her, I think last year, but then I was like out of town. And then she's wonderful. She's so
Yeah, she's
talented.
talented.
She's so sensitive and
Hardworking,
sensible
yeah,
and
yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
She definitely has good lighting plans too. It was really awesome to work with her. And like we had mutuals too, you know, the world gets like smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yes,
you
like
know,
the more you know people, the
Yeah.
more you meet other people,
Yeah,
and the
I
more,
just
yeah.
my son is 2, so I'm getting back into film after, you know, running indie and stuff. And like working a creative 9 to 5, the indie world is calling me again. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
here now.
congratulations on the baby and the coming back to film, and hopefully one day we'll work
Oh, we
together.
I like the way you work, and also like women of color in this.
Oh yeah, so rare, and yeah.
Well, it's not so rare anymore. You
Yeah.
gotta keep making it not rare
And
anymore.
me and Lulu, because she's Mexican too, were talking
cool.
about how like
That's how you know. I saw you follow CK Films. You know Ethan, the guy, the CEO of CK Films. That's what I thought.
maybe. I don't know. But anyway, we were talking about how like we sometimes will think like, damn, I'm alone, like I'm the only one. And then you're like, no, I'm not. There's so many others, and you know. But yeah. All right. I need to start breaking shit down.
Go ahead. I totally,
Sorry,
no,
because
of course, do your
we
thing.
need to
do
get
your
out
thing.
of here.
I also need to
I'll
leave.
follow you back, but yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, how are you?
I'm glad you liked it. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
I don't know if you know.
La Lulu te trajo de las greñas. Ya me dijo, you're together. Yeah. She was talking and I was like, I was even making fun of her. You didn't see?
No,
Yeah.
but that was great. That was great.
I'm glad you
Also, I had no
enjoyed
idea that you were like super into Jane.
Yeah.
I didn't. And also, I was being like very like oblivious, but I think I followed you some time back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I didn't like put two and two together, and I just saw you, and that's so weird. I was like, wait, what the
You're like, wait.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's funny how
yeah,
this industry sometimes works
yeah.
in like with social media and like.
world. You did great. That was amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad you. I hope it was helpful. Yeah, my
Also, like
pleasure.
a lot of these, it seems like a lot of these people are pretty new to it, so it's a good,
Yeah.
it's a good introduction.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it simple because I figured like people who are like seasoned, you know,
Yeah.
G&E people, they're not gonna come to this shit. So
Yeah.
it's like simple, but still some tips here and there. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Bye. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Stay in touch. Guys,
that was great. I'm so happy I came.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Of course. How do you feel about it?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm like, it felt like a whirlwind because I'm like, there were so many things that I wanted to say and I kept being like, shit, I can't get to that. But yeah, hopefully I wasn't too sparse or yeah.
No, we got it.
At least you got something out of it, hopefully. But yeah.
But yeah, that was lovely.
All right.
It was nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you
Of course.
again.
The next time.
See you on the next one.
I will.
Take care. I'm gonna start. All right. kill this.
Lux Lighting did like in cahoots with Aperture, right?
I think. I believe
I
so.
forgot you don't work because they said thanks for Aperture.
Oh, Aperture, because
providing-
Aperture provided the lights for free. So I think Aperture maybe brought them from Lux. I don't know for sure.
Because Aperture's always at Lux Lighting. Doing like little events.
That's, they
They
probably
do
are in
workshops and they
cahoots.
come, yeah.
Yep, that would make sense. Yes,
Thank you so much for the.
of course.
It's so helpful.
Of course, thank you for coming. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay in touch. Sure, if you feel comfortable with it and you don't want to bounce, like, please, yeah, go for it. What was your